Hey guys, JK here with another video, this time on the free unit KAGURA. Of course, she is one of the main protagonists from the Sacred Stone side story, and I'm raising her up because she's free and of course to be informative to you guys, but right off the bat, I'll tell you that she's not a very good character. She's not like Canon, where even though Canon only had one job, she turned out to be very solid and had niche uses. KAGURA right now is struggling. She's not maxed out or anything, but I can tell you that, she's not going to change much if you do max her out. Basically, she's very, very slow. If you look at her, she has 67 agility at the moment. Part of the reason for that is because of her Heat Haze passive. What this does is it raises your defense and water res, making her a little bit more survivable, but it lowers her agility, and it's not like she had a ton to begin with, so that's a shame, and you can't swap it out because she doesn't have enough passives to swap in and out. So yeah, she's stuck at 67 agility and her move is 2. So until she gets her third job, she's going to be very, very immobile, and yeah, it just makes her hard to use. It's not all downsides, and we'll get to that, but just wanted to kind of like give my honest initial impressions so that you don't get misled into thinking she's usable. Her gear is only 4 stars at the moment, but again, that's good enough for the purposes of the video. So why don't we go ahead and take her in. Oh, I do need to mention actually, you need a lot of gear rods to raise her up, but one piece of good news is that with the Spring Dawn Kimono, oddly enough, you get pretty much all you need with just milestone rewards when you evolve her. Of course, evolving her is a pain because the drop rates are pretty poor on those evolution materials, but once you evolve her, the milestone rewards pretty much take care of your kimono needs. As you can see, I still have one left for job 11. So yeah, I mean, it's a little bit strange because it's like, why make you farm these equipments if you're gonna pretty much get what you need anyway? So not complaining, but it is kind of strange. Maybe we'll need it for future jobs, I don't know. So anyway, let's go into the match. We'll do another offline so that we can take our time with it. And I do owe you guys a Kudanstein master ability or weapon ability because I forgot to do that last time, so I will bring him as well. Yeah, I mean, when a character is that slow, even as a mage, pretty hard to use in real matches, but we'll see what we can do. Okay, so we'll just get some jewels for him. He's not going to do a whole lot in this one, but we do want to see that awesome weapon ability. So, okay, right off the bat, one thing that is cool about her is that her master ability is a long range cross. So it's a range of 3, and then at the edge of the third square, you can actually do another range with the cross shape. So it erases her magic attack for 3 turns, and it is instant cast, which is kind of rare. So you can do this, and it actually is pretty strong, like maybe 50% stronger than a regular spell. Maybe more than that actually. It's a really good multiplier, so it is good, but unfortunately it's not like you can spam it or anything like that. We'll go ahead and charge up with him. These guys and the level must be really slow. She was actually able to go before them. Yeah, that 2 move is just really crippling. Okay, so maybe we can do this now. No, we can't quite reach. Okay, so the end, his master ability has a range of 3. It says long range. I don't know why they don't tell you the actual range. It's 3 squares, and pretty much anywhere from him, 3 squares, single target, 100% hit, and raises his crit by 50% for 2 turns. So we'll see that in the next turn, but unfortunately you can only use it once per match. So I may actually have to charge up again because I can't quite reach the guy that I want to hit. So we'll do it the next round. Alright, so let's go ahead and move on to her. So Flame Orb, her main abilities, there's actually some good stuff in here. Jewel Flame is just your typical jewel drain that you've seen on Dark Knights and Dark Cavaliers, so it's kind of nice if you need to top off and you don't want to like auto attack and trigger a counter or something. Dancing Blaze is kind of like a Retribution Blade type of ability where it's a square line with 3 range, but it does have a height restriction. As you can see, I can't hit the guy down there, so I'm gonna have to move down there before I can use it. Chaotic Blaze raises agility of your allies around you, but I mean that's highly situational. And the Purgatory Flame is almost exactly like Dragon Breath with Dragon Knights and Dragon Cavaliers, where it's like 6 squares laterally in front of you, which is actually kind of nice. And it is instant cast as well, so we can go ahead and use that. So you can pretty much point it like this. It's pretty nice. And of course he missed, but yeah, typically that wouldn't happen, of course. It might actually be a good thing because then there'll be more enemies to continue showcasing our abilities. Okay, so let's go ahead and use his master ability. As you can see, you can aim it, and it looks really cool. Lots of damage, definitely stronger than his other abilities. I actually tried to bring him into the EX level, and because of his element, unfortunately, he wasn't able to do a lot of damage, but he was able to actually... Oh man, I didn't want her to counter with that. We may have to do another round here. But anyway, he was actually able to do some damage with that ability, but not really with his other stuff. Even Geocross really couldn't penetrate defenses and resistances, so that was a little bit of a shame. Yeah, so we'll just show the one last regular ability here. Yeah, I'm not in range yet. Again, you want to treat this ability like a Retribution Blade. It can hit multiple enemies, and it goes right in front of you. And you can hit your own teammates too, so you do need to be careful about that. So we'll just go ahead and back up here. Again, instant cast, which is nice. Yeah. It doesn't quite look like it, but it would hit everything in the way, so... Okay, so let's do one more round, because I wasn't able to get through everything. I'll probably just need like a couple enemies and then I'll just retreat. You'll get the idea. Okay, so her basic abilities. Now, these are actually not that great, and I do recommend using the basic casting the other magic spells. And the reason for that is because these are all fire-based, and they all have cast times attached to it. These 360 cast speeds are faster than the typical spells, but I mean, they are very limiting. So the Scorching Wave one is basically like something like a Catanova ability where it's just one enemy, you can aim it like that. Kind of cool, I guess. We'll go ahead and do that. But again, it does have cast time attached to it, so... I just feel like the versatility of bringing the regular spells is so much better because you'll have all the different elements attached to it instead of just fire. If you're gonna have cast time anyway, you might as well have versatility. Okay, sorry Kudanstein, you're gonna have to just kind of sit there for now. The other ability, of course, this one can raise your fire and water res. Situationally useful, I guess, but I mean, not really worth bringing her in, I think. This one is kind of nice. Burning Sphere, typical ranges of like 3 and 3, like the cross shape, but again, there is cast time associated with it. Not really sure who I'll be able to hit without them moving out of the way, but yeah, why don't we just try this guy? Okay, good. So typical fire spell, nothing really special about that. There's just one other ability that's a little bit unique, but again is very situational. And that is the Cast Paralysis. This one is actually, I think, the first AoE paralysis spell I've seen. So, you know, if there's a group of enemies clustered and they can all be paralyzed, why not? But not really anything special. I would definitely recommend using the basic spellcasting for her, but her main abilities do have some use because of the scope and the instant cast. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Kind of unremarkable at the moment, but she does get better in the future as she gets her third job and everything. She's free, so I would recommend, getting her evolution materials and farming up some of the equipment, I guess, if you need to, but I wouldn't really waste any on her skills quite yet. I just did it to show you guys, but throw some apples at her because you will need her leveled up at some point, but that's pretty much it. I wouldn't actually use her unless you're very, very new to the game and have like no mages at all. So hope that was informative, not exciting or anything, but it's always interesting to see new characters. So yeah, I tested it out for you guys. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.